Students from across Ontario delivering a message to the McGuinty government today.
Tuition fees have got to go!
The Canadian Federation of Students delivered more than 90,000 postcards to Queen's Park. They're demanding lower tuition and stable funding for post-secondary institutions. Students from 7 Ontario cities took part in today's demonstration. The postcards were collected from September to November.
Okay, so students from across the province are in town for our Ontario Lobby Week, and we've been meeting with members of provincial parliament to talk about the issues that are important to students. And this morning we're going to be delivering over 90,000 postcards to Premier Dalton McGuinty. We're going to be walking them over to the mailing office where they'll have to be processed. And so students are out here today to deliver Dalton McGuinty, I guess, his holiday gift, which is this calls of students to have investment in post-secondary education. And what we really need more than anything else is a reduction in our tuition fees.
I think it's telling to the work we've been doing as a student movement. Students across the province, across Canada have spoken that they want to see more funding in post-secondary education. And we've been lobbying, we've been rallying, we've been doing everything that we possibly can. Our movement is so multifaceted, and I think today is like putting the icing on the cake, and just to show our students that your voices, we'll make sure your voices are heard.
C'est essentiel qu'on fasse comprendre aux gens qui travaillent sur cette structure, donc les gens qui prennent des décisions, les députés, le ministre de formation des collèges et des universités. C'est important qu'ils sachent maintenant quels ont été les enjeux pour les étudiants dans les 4 dernières années. Puis quand on parle d'augmentation des frais de scolarité de 30% en 4 ans, ça c'est un des problèmes parmi tant d'autres qui a besoin d'être soulevé à ce moment-ci. Je pense que c'est important, c'est pour ça que c'est important qu'on livre 90 000 cartes postales qui viennent de tout le monde en Ontario, de plein de gens qui ont signé ça et qui sont prêts à dire qu'ils veulent supporter l'éducation en Ontario.
Well, I did directly outreaching with students, and I can tell you that we've had lots of students signing them. Every single day we went out there and there were new students signing them. We were informing them about the issues around tuition fees and poverty in Ontario. It's been really good.
And together with the Full-Time Student Union, RSU, we collected 19,000 postcards, just like this.
Well, this week we've been meeting with MPPs. I've met with several MPPs from Northern Ontario, so it's important to say that this is not just a local issue, this is a provincial issue, and there are students across the province calling for this, and we're united, and we're not going to stop until we see a reduction in tuition fees. We had our highest turnout ever for our day of action. We had over 15% of our total population show up. We hit every major media source in the city, and we also had 90%, the equivalent of 90% of our student body sign postcards.
So this really goes to show that it's not just students on campus, but it's communities all over Toronto that are supporting a poverty-free Ontario, because every single one of those postcards is a signature, is a person, is an individual, and they're going to have their voice heard today.
Let's roll! Let's send this message together!
90,000 postcards!
100,000 postcards. Yeah!
Amazing!
You say cut back.
We say fight back!
You say cut back.
We say fight back!
You say cut back.
We say fight back!
What do we want?
Drop fees!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Drop fees!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Drop fees!
When do we want it?
Now! Education is a right!
We will not give up the fight. Education is a right. We will not give up the fight. Education is a right. 90,000 postcards, all signed by Ontario students. This is a record. Never before have this many students signed any kind of petition, any kind of postcard on any issue. This is something that's felt deeply all across the province, and we have the evidence here today with us to deliver to the government.
The collection of these postcards represents the work of students who have been organizing in our communities since early May, organizing across this province on our campuses to push back and fight for an affordable education system. For the last 4 years, students in this province have faced tuition fee increases of between 20 and 36%.
Yay!
And today we are here to say no more to program cuts, no more to lifetime debt, and no more to skyrocketing tuition fees.
We will not give up the fight.
Education is a right.
We will not give up the fight.
Education is a right.
We will not give up the fight.
Education is a right.
We will not give up the fight.
Dalton McGuinty, you've got mail. Dozens of post-secondary students are demanding lower tuition fees and more action to end poverty from the McGuinty government. Members of the Canadian Federation of Students Ontario Division descended on the legislature this morning with a van full of postcards addressed to the Premier. Shelley Melanson says the group hand-delivered about 90,000 postcards signed by students and community members across the province, demanding the Liberals deal with a situation where Ontario students have seen their tuition fees jump from 20% to 36%.